Hi, I'm Shannon Lindsay, and I'm going to be talking about Emma Smith and her role in the Restoration. Alrighty, so Emma's life and legacy, I'm going to start with before her and Joseph were married. So before Joseph, this is a quote for Emma. In Doctrine and Covenants, section 25, Emma Smith is giving a blessing for her comfort and guidance in life. The Lord begins this blessing by saying, "Hearken unto the voice of the Lord your God, while I speak unto you, Emma Smith, my daughter." And that's from He Knows You by Name by Elena Dalton. So Emma Smith was born to Elizabeth Lewis and Isaac Hale in 1804 in Harmony, Pennsylvania, and she was the seventh child and the third daughter. She was taught how to read and write. Her family was pretty well off. She knew how to ride horses and navigate river waters. So Emma met Joseph when he came to her town for work in 1825. The two developed a close friendship, and she readily believed his accounts of visions and revelations. According to one account, on September 22nd, 1826, Moroni told Joseph he had one more chance to bring the right person with him the following year. Joseph prayed faithfully and received revelation that the right person was Emma Hale. And this is his own words. January 1827. During that time that I was thus employed, I was put to board with Isaac Hale of that place. 'Twas there that I first saw my wife, his daughter, Emma Hale. In 1827, we were married while I yet was employed in the service of Stowell, owing to my still continuing to assert that I had seen a vision, persecution still followed me. So after being married with Joseph in the Restoration, this is a bit of a timeline. So they got married in 1827 and moved to Harmony. In 1829, they moved to Fayette. In 1830, the church was organized. Emma was baptized. They moved to Kirtland in 1831. In 1835, Emma publishes her hymns for the church. In 1838, they go to Missouri. In 1839, Joseph is in jail. 1839, they moved to Nauvoo. In 1841, Joseph participates in the first plural marriage in Nauvoo. 1842, Emma is called as president of the Relief Society. In 1844, Joseph and Hiram are murdered. So Emma's childhood faith and religious education contributed to her partnership with her husband, Joseph Smith, in the restoration and the translation of the Book of Mormon. She helped him retrieve and protect the plates, assisted in the transcription of translated plates, and expounded scriptural teachings. Emma played a valuable role in the restoration. So not only was she valuable, she played many roles. She was Joseph's wife, scribe, comforter, and she protected the golden plates, even riding an hour bareback on a horse on one occasion to do so. So Doctrine and Covenants 25 is all for Emma. Behold, thy sins are forgiven thee, thou art an elect lady whom I have called, and thou shalt be ordained under his hand to expound scriptures and to exhort the church, according as it shall be given thee by my spirit, and shall be given thee also to make a selection of sacred hymns, as it shall be given thee, which is pleasing unto me, to be had in my church. So she was called by God to do these hymns and to lead in the church. Quotes for Emma. The sisters took this charge to heart and became a society dedicated to serving the poor and needy. Sister Emma Smith said, "We are going to do something extraordinary. When a boat is stuck on the rapids with a multitude of Mormons on board, we shall consider that a loud call for relief. We expect extraordinary occasions and pressing calls." That's from Now Let Us Rejoice. So Relief Society. When Relief Society was officially organized, Emma Smith continued in her calling as a leader. She was named as president of the organization with two counselors to serve with her in the presidency. She was not called by vote, but she was called by God and by prophecy and by the laying on of hands by those who are in authority. Through Emma Smith, though Emma Smith was met with the society only 12 times in 1842 and 4 times in March 1844, her leadership was crucial in shaping the organization. Her public speaking established a pattern for Latter-day Saint women. The revelations given to her in her leading applied to all of the women who served after her. So now to discuss polygamy. Polygamy was something that was very controversial and something that Emma was very much criticized on for her beliefs and personal attitude about polygamy and plural marriage. It was not something that was easy. Brigham Young heavily criticized her and her speaking out against plural marriage, and 54 receiving D&C 13254 would have been hard for Emma. And it says, "And I command mine handmaid Emma Smith to abide and cleave unto my servant Joseph, and to none else. But if she will not abide by this commandment, she shall be destroyed. And saith the Lord, for I am the Lord thy God, and will destroy her if she abide not by my law." So it's something that Emma really struggled with. Joseph's death in 1844. We do not fully comprehend the strength she was not only to Joseph, but the entire church through the heartaches and horror of repeated forced move, mob persecution, arrest of church leader, and then the death, of course, of Joseph Smith. And that's by Brandon Metcalf. So after Joseph. So here's a quote for Emma. "One part of Emma Smith's legacy that matters to me is how often she was taken in and cared for by others when she was in need, and how often she cared for others in her own turn." So Emma Smith even in her times of troubles, even after losing her husband, she still made time to serve and to love others. Alrighty. So a big part of controversy is after Joseph Smith's death, she went through a lot of trials with how to take care of her family and what to do, and she didn't end up moving with the saints to the west, and she stayed in Nauvoo, and that kind of caused a big rift with her and the church, and especially Brigham Young, who they did not get along. So she remained in Nauvoo. On December 23rd, she remarried to Mr. Biderman. In 1860, she became affiliated with the Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and her sons were both big in that. And it says, although Emma Smith remained estranged from Brigham Young and the Latter-day Saints in Utah, she maintained her belief in Joseph Smith's prophetic role and in the divine truth of the Book of Mormon. My belief is that the Book of Mormon is of divine authenticity. I have not the slightest doubt of it. She passed away in 1879 and is buried next to Joseph. So this is a little bit of her legacy. This is another quote. We would have been exceedingly glad if the Prophet's family had come with us when we left Nauvoo. Emma is naturally a very smart woman, and she is subtle and ingenious. She has made her children inherit lies. To my certain knowledge, Emma Smith is one of the damnedest liars I know of on this earth, yet there is no good thing I would refuse to do for her if she would only be a righteous woman. And that's Brigham Young. So she had her fair share of critics, definitely. So Emma Smith, in her time and during the Restoration, selected 90 hymns. She had 11 children. She was the first scribe, first president of the Relief Society, served countless people. She lost her husband and was blamed for it. She was criticized for staying in Nauvoo and accused of poisoning Joseph. When Joseph died, they lost a prophet, but Emma lost a husband and a man that she had spent 17 years loving, helping, trusting, protecting, and sacrificing for. I think we can learn that although Emma was not perfect, she loved the people around her, and she loved her husband, she loved God, she loved her children, she loved the people that she served. And I think we can apply that to the church today, in that women are held to such a high standard, and that isn't always a bad thing. But at the end of the day, we are not perfect. And what is important to remember for our own legacy is that we love the people around us and we love God. And that is what we should remember about Emma Smith and her role in the Restoration. And that is really the most important thing about it.